Section 4.1 starts the study in Chapter 4 of different bases, different kinds of numeration systems, different kinds of arithmetic. And so I chose two of these from this section, the Egyptian numerals and the Roman numerals. The Egyptian numerals are just a straight addition kind of thing. So say that you want the number 365 and you want to represent it in Egyptian numerals, then what you're going to do is you're going to decide how many hundreds you need. And you'll add those, and then you're going to decide how many tens you need. And we'll need 6 of those, and you'll decide how many ones you need. And you can see why this failed. This is kind of a failure. And then for each of these hundreds, you have to write down the symbol for the 100. And I do this sort of okay, but not really. But I don't really care because I'm not going to use this the rest of my life. And then about the only nice thing about this really is that you don't have to put the plus signs. It's understood. And you don't have to put them all in this order. You could put these on top and these in the middle row and this on the bottom. Just however many of each kind of picture you have, that's what you have. Now, you need to know how to do this, but I would give you the key on an exam. I don't expect you to waste your time trying to memorize what each of these symbols is supposed to mean in terms of numbers. So if you were given this key and you were given 365, could you figure out that you needed 3 of these 100 symbols and 6 of these 10 symbols and 5 of these? Well, I think I put 6 of them. I don't know why I put 6 of them. And 5 of these little 1 symbols. And the answer is I think you ought to be able to. This is kind of an additive or addition-based numeral system where each kind of power of 10 has a certain symbol, and you just use as many as you need. So I'm not going to do this, and I hope that you are not going to do this. But do you see, let's make it even worse, do you see what this is going to be? The 10,000s, it's going to be 9 of these and 9 of these and 9 of these and 9 of these and 9 of these, and that's 45 of these symbols just to write down this. Our numeration system is much, much more convenient than that. The second one I want to show you is Roman numerals, and so I thought we might do 365 with Roman numerals. And when we do 365, some of the rules in Roman numerals are if you're going from large to small, you're adding. But if you see a small followed by a large, then that's a subtraction. Another rule is that you can only use 3 of the same thing. So for instance, this 3, we can use 300s. That would be 3 C's. That's perfectly fine. But for the 6, we are not allowed to use 6 tens. You can only use at most 3 of these in a row. So we could get to 30 with XXX, but you're not allowed to put 6 X's here. So instead, you get the 60 by doing a 50 plus a 10. Now if, I'm not going to do this, but if I were to do this, notice the 10 is small and the L50 is big, so that would be a subtraction. That would be 40. And we don't want them subtracted, we want them added. So this says 50 plus 10. This would say 50 minus 10. That's a little bit tricky. So we have 300 plus 50 plus 10, and now we could try 5 ones, but you can only use 3. So we're going to use this. And so for 365, this was relatively simple because we put everything in order, 100, 100, 100, 50, 10, 5, and it was all adding, and that wasn't too bad. Question becomes, what happens if the number's a little more complicated than that? So let's try a 439 in Roman numerals. A 439. Can we use 4 C's like this? That would be 400, but you cannot use at most 3. So what we need is we need a D, which is 500. And if we put a C over here, that'll be adding. That'll be 600. But if we put a C over here, it's 400. So this is 500 minus 100, which is 400. And then we need 30, and that's 3 x's. But now we need a 9. So we have 430, but we need to put some stuff here that will give us 9. And how can we do 9? Can we do 9 ones? No, we can do at most 3 of those. Can we do a 5 and 4 ones? No, we need at most 3 of those. And so it looks like one way to get to 9 would be to do 10, and then instead of adding 1 and getting 11, to do 10 take away 1. So there is our 9. So we've got 500 take away 100, that's 430, and then 10 take away 1 is 9. And so the Roman numeral system avoids this kind of stuff where you just kind of add forever. But it is pretty tough to work with. It's pretty hard. They did some amazing work with the Roman numerals, but it's pretty hard. But the Romans were really an important civilization, and so some of their numerals have lasted. I mean, you see Roman numerals in our world sometimes. It's all over the place, really. Pro football, Roman numerals for which Super Bowl it is, and things like that. You can see Roman numerals quite often.